my turn to fall off there?
Oh, George, that would have been epic. But you can't see it like that.
That would just be too good.
That would just be too George-like.
Yeah, wouldn't it?
You just can't let anyone else have their way. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, how am I going to do this?
I don't know, but
I'll be right back. Oh, shut up.
so bored.
Nearly there.
Oh, he's nearly there.
Nearly there.
This will be like the longest opening of any video yet.
No, will you edit it, you dickhead? So I took some precautions, George.
You took some precautions?
Yes, I took some precautions.
Okay. Should I be closing my eyes?
You close your eyes and you take a look at my precaution. Hey! Just in case. Just in case I fall again. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you. That'd be $10. That'd be $10. What do you think?
I like it.
Yeah?
I like your big shiny helmet as well.
Oh, I know, right?
Mmm.
So there we go. And that's up. Make it up. That's a wet. That's a wet. So there we are. This is
Okay, so let me help you up.
This yeah. This is
Have you got breathing problems, or is there like an inflation device in there?
Oh, I'm trying to make it work for me, you know. This is a precautionary measure. Coming to a SeaWorld near you. Yeah.
Very nice.
Just in case I fall again.
I like it.
Yeah.
I could sleep on that.
You could. Oh.
Yeah, that noise is driving me insane.
Welcome. Oh.
It's magic.
You know. No.
No.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, clubs. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, clubs. Chewy, baby back, clubs. The worrying's annoying me already.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to surprise you that I was
worked.
taking precautions.
I like that. This is another surprise.
I don't want to. That's disgusting. You filthy bastard. You fucking bastard.
Oh, Jesus. Hello and welcome to another Screen Queens presented by the Celluloid Misfits.
I'm Marc from Head Over Rails.
I'm George from Movie Misfit, and we are
the Screen Queens.
The Screen Queens.
Okay, right, George, just you move on.
Okay. Small talk. Let's do small talk.
Let's get.
Okay.
Oh, that's much better. Okay, small talk. What did you see on the small screen, George?
You don't like a tight helmet, do you? So on the small screen, I'm going to have to double check my phone because I watched quite a bit this week.
Yeah.
I watched a ton of DVDs, which took away from obviously my streaming services, but I need to start watching movies because I have 60 new DVDs that I have not got through yet, which is pretty bad.
That is bad.
So to start with, I went to ITV Hub and we watched Des.
Oh, this new David Tennant documentary.
No, it's a
David Tennant is a serial killer.
David Tennant as a serial killer.
Okay.
Playing Andrew Nielsen, also known as Des, and he did it amazingly. He was wonderful at it. I mean, when you watch him and then look at the photos and the documentary about the real Des, it's uncanny.
Really?
This is probably one of the finest moments of casting I've ever seen.
Oh.
Ever.
That's interesting. I haven't seen it yet.
He was phenomenal. So
I
we
don't pay for
we
my
did
TV
that.
license.
No, ITV Hub's free.
Oh, is that?
It's free.
Happy days.
It's
I'll
on
be
catch
watching
up.
Des.
So watch that, and then
Yes.
started Umbrella Academy 2.
Ooh.
Started catching up on Umbrella Academy season 2, which is fantastic. I really, really like it. Loved part 1, and it was left with obviously such a big what's going to happen, you know. And this has been a lot of fun. We've only got it to the 4th episode, but it's been a lot of fun. Something that we also watched, which you watched, I know, is The American Killer. Sure.
Yes, American Killer, yeah. The family next door.
Next door.
I wouldn't want to be living next door to that family.
So that was an interesting one because it wasn't reconstructions.
No, which I like.
Yeah. It was all body cam.
Yeah.
As such.
Body cam footage, CCTV, and text messages.
Facebook.
Oh my
vlogging.
God. I mean, God love her. I mean, I think that they skipped over a lot of why she did vlog because it's kind of like, hey, I have lupus, and then I died. Do you know,
it was kind of like they made her very, very narcissistic.
They did make her seem very narcissistic.
And then they were almost leading you down another path. That is she the reason? Is there a cause behind this because of how she's getting on? But it was very interesting and shocking at the same time.
It was very shocking.
I mean, my God, wow! I can't even imagine doing.
So this is if you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. This is American Killer: The Family Next Door, about the murder of Shanann Watts and her 2 children by the hands of her husband Chris.
Yeah.
Who?
Spoilers.
Well, it's not really a spoiler, everyone. Apparently, I did read a review saying that anybody in America will know this story.
Oh yeah.
So, but anybody outside of it. But it was so interesting to watch the body cam footage and to see it all play out as it went along. I think there was a lot that they left out. Like you said, they made her seem very narcissistic.
Yeah.
They made her look like, but she openly admitted that she was the dominant one. Yeah. And that he was quite all right with that.
Yeah, because there was quite a lot of I'm pushing him away. I don't want this. I'm giving him a chance to get out.
Yes.
So there was a lot of oddness about the whole setup, I think.
And a part of me wondered why he didn't just leave.
That would have been the easy option,
That would have been the easy option, but of course...
But then
no, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say it being New Year's.
Yeah.
But we have people that are stupid.
Movies then we watched Boys in the Band and The Power Project.
Oh, Project Power.
Project Power.
With Jamie Foxx.
I mean, it was incredibly forgettable. That's why I forgot
it. It's been a while actually. So you're only really getting on Project Power now?
Yeah, I have seen it. It's
been a while since I've watched it.
Yeah, I've seen it advertised and seen it play out, and it was fun when I was watching it. Like, I enjoyed it. There was a lot of great ideas. There was a lot going on. It looked amazing. There was some really cool elements to it. But when it was over, I'm like, I can't even remember a scene from it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I can remember one specific scene. I can't.
Yeah.
It just did not stick in my head.
I mean, I do kind of remember the gist of the story, him
your guy was in it,
Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Right, yes, I remember now. That's what I mean. I can't even remember.
Yeah. It left me with a lot of questions. I wanted to know, how did they know that the daughter, like her blood was what would give these people superpowers? I was like, okay, I need these questions answered.
Perhaps if they went down a series route with it, it may have...
Yeah, like a limited series.
Yeah.
May
have played out better.
Or if they do a sequel.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'd be up for a sequel.
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably have to watch it again. Yeah. Before the sequel.
There was a lot of it. I like the concept that this drug gives you superpowers for a certain length of time.
Yes. And so people could go on fire and things like that. I remember that.
Yeah, okay. George is finally here, folks. After 15 minutes of recording, he's finally arrived.
It just doesn't sit there because it wasn't memorable.
Yeah.
But there was good moments in it. That's what I mean.
I think, as with most Netflix original films, it's quantity over quality.
Yeah.
And these really, really great ideas are destroyed by the fact that they are pumping out too much. And it happened with another film that I'll talk about, Vampires versus the Bronx, which came out on Netflix. But I like the concept of this drug. You take it, you get these superpowers for so many seconds,
it sounded great.
I think they could have played into Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character and his addiction problems a little bit deeper.
He was a cop with an addiction.
Yeah, so he had an addiction to these drugs and things, and I would have liked to have seen more character development and things like that there. But in terms of the effects and some of the fights, I mean, it was pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There was some really cool stuff going on, but nothing is registered. And I don't know why.
George, what day is that?
What year is it?
And the last thing we would have watched,
It's Boys in the Band.
Boys in the Band.
Yeah.
That was probably, this week that would be the last thing we've watched. throughout the series.
So I'm interested to hear your thoughts because we haven't talked about this.
No.
I talked about it a little bit. But
We watched it last night because
Okay.
obviously you loved it.
Yeah.
And Kenny wanted to see it, the husband wanted to see it, and I was kind of like, okay, there's nothing else really that we want to watch before bed. Let's watch this. Fuck, what a load of shit. What a load of shit. I was turning over to go to sleep before, I'd say maybe 20 minutes before the end. It just, none of the characters were really likable.
Oh, there's nothing quite as good as feeling sorry for yourself, is there?
I could see where he was going with the cast, with all with all those actors. Yes, I get that. Yay gay, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was just pointless. I was like lying there, tucked up in my quilt, going to Kenny, "What's the point? Have I missed something? What is the point?"
I mean, it's definitely. I mean, it's a character study.
Yeah.
That's
totally.
what it is.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
and it
yeah.
only takes place in one night. So, factoring that into consideration, you know, would mean that the film isn't as fully fleshed out.
Yeah.
I think the great thing about it is Mark Crowley's script, like his screenplay, it's so fast and sharp
Do you know,
and witty.
yes, but it felt so unnatural because of that.
Did you?
Look,
I felt like it was like Sorkin fast. You know the way Aaron Sorkin writes on the
but
West Wing? It's like,
yeah, and that's not natural. People
Well,
don't
look at how
talk
we-
like that. Look, there's 5 guys that sit in our houses.
Yes.
3 nights a week, 4 nights a week. None of us get on like that, and we're all pretty witty.
Because we can't.
We're all pretty witty,
Say anything, 'cause
but we
George
don't. It's very true. But we don't get on like that. Maybe it's an American thing.
Maybe it is.
Maybe
But
it's
they
an
needed to fill out, obviously, in the original stage play, they needed to fill out those 2 hours. I would agree. The
So,
characters.
sorry, is it a stage play?
It was a stage play
Right,
originally.
because that's
Yes.
to me that's how it looked.
Yes.
That's how it came across. It wasn't made for film. This was, to me, I was watching a stage play.
Yeah.
And that's all it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked it. I
It was
mean,
kind of predictable slightly. You know, like there was a few moments
I
there.
didn't really see where it was going to go because
really?
I've never seen the stage play and I haven't seen the original
neither, right, yeah.
film that was released in the 70s that William Friedkin directed. He's already directed
Right.
a version of it, which I'd never seen. So I was a bit like, where does this go? A lot of people said that there was a lot of misrepresentation, a lot of mischaracterization. However, I did see a lot of the 5 of us in those characters. Like whenever I was watching, I was like, I can relate to that. I can relate to this. You thought I would?
I thought you would. I wonder
did.
there's Mark sitting at home going, and that's George, and there's Jan, and there's
Well, I wasn't quite doing that, but I was kind of saying
You can
I can
see it.
see the traits that we have as openly gay men in those characters.
Yeah.
So I don't think it was misrepresented. I think that they just tried to cram too much into 2 hours. However, I liked the fact that there were characters. I mean, Jim Parsons was fantastic as Michael. He was so unlikable, but his torment and self-loathing was so palpable.
Yeah.
Like you could tell that he was in love with Matt Bomer's character. You could tell that he just was so pissed off at whatever was going on.
And I didn't really want to see the rest of them happy.
No,
He
really didn't, because he was so down. He had stopped drinking, he had stopped smoking, and then he starts drinking, and then all of this truth comes out.
Yeah.
And it is true. Whenever you drink, the truth does start to come out. But I liked how each character kind of got their moment, and I did think that the phone call game was cruel as sin.
Yeah,
that is the worst. If anybody ever said that to me, I'd be like, are you fucking having a laugh? Phone somebody that I was in love with 20 years ago? Yeah, and then get shot in the face.
And when it came to that, and with obviously with Hank and
Andrew Rannell's character.
Yes, when they came to their phone calls, you just knew where that was going. And
I didn't.
Oh really?
I thought
Hank
Hank was going to phone Andrew Rannells.
Oh right.
But when Andrew Rannells went to the phone, I didn't. I thought he's going to phone someone else, and this is the shit's going to hit the fan.
It's for you, Hank.
Yes, but it was so well acted, and it's so nice to see a gay film with all gay cast.
Yeah. I mean that.
Alan is the other older man.
Yes, when they initially came into it, and you knew that all these actors were gay. That was great.
How much though did you love Zachary Quinto?
He was vicious.
But he was so
He
camp
was so delicious and vicious.
Theatrical.
It was overly theatrical, wasn't it? My pox scars.
Yeah.
His curly hair. I mean, I did think he was so... I love the character of Harold because he just sat back and he pushed Michael to that point where he was like, do you know what, baby?
Yeah,
I'm just
go
gonna
for
let
it.
you do it.
Yeah.
And he relished in this drama.
Yeah.
But so cunningly and so pleasingly, it was all over his face, and I was
Yeah,
like,
it was
oh,
quite twisted. Quite twisted.
it wasn't all over his
Yeah,
face.
it
The
wasn't.
expression was all over his face. But yeah, I mean, I did find it quite well written. I found it well directed and well acted.
But at the end of it, it didn't amount to anything, and I was just like,
Take me home. These queens are crazy.
Sometimes ambiguous endings leave it up to the viewer to decide
I was
what
asleep
happens.
by that stage.
So I have made my own decisions as to where their characters have gone.
Yeah, you can.
But
Don't have to share them, but that's.
I won't share them, don't worry. I won't spend the next half an hour talking
So
about it.
yeah,
Wants to move
but
on.
move on. Yes, let's move on.
Well, yeah.
So what else did you? And that's all we watched on the small screen. There was a couple of little bits in between and here and there.
Yeah.
Like Marvel cartoons on Disney.
Oh, yes,
and
yeah.
All the usual little bits. But what did you?
I watched 3 Netflix movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll start with the worst and work to the best.
Okay.
Vampires versus the Bronx.
Oh yeah, I saw that advertised.
Meh.
Okay, man. I was expecting a kind of Scout's Guide to the Apocalypse.
No.
Zombie Apocalypse. That kind of a thing.
No. It was like an 80s throwback, almost.
Okay.
It had that feel to it, but it felt like a really cheap television pilot,
Oh.
where they'd literally lifted like makeup effects from Buffy,
right.
ideas from the Lost Boys. There was nothing original
So like,
about it.
oh,
It
that's
was-
what I saw with it was the Lost Boy kind of.
It
Even
was-
with the trailer, I was
yeah.
like, they're trying to recreate the Lost Boy.
It was mad cliche. Now I have to say that the cast, the young cast especially, were really, really good. Zoe Saldana shows up in there for a cameo appearance.
Oh, okay.
But the young cast is very good. They play very well and they're all very convincing. But it just was so bland and empty. I wanted like literally vampires crawling over buildings all over the Bronx.
Yeah.
People with pitchforks and fire and crossbows.
Kind of like
It
Lost
was-
Boys meets the Bronx Warriors from.
I wanted
That would have been good.
Lost Boys meets Avengers. That's what I wanted.
No,
That was ambitious.
Well, Blade's coming soon to the MCU.
So we could
We'll
get
get
it.
there.
But it just it didn't do anything for me. And I read a lot of the reviews and people were like, "Oh, it's a great
It's
debut
young one. It's probably
from."
that's probably a younger audience who haven't grown up with Lost
Experienced,
Boys and
yeah.
those kind of shows that we genuinely take for the vampire film, modern vampire film.
Like the vermin you are.
My second movie was Love Guaranteed,
Oh yes.
which stars Rachel Lee Cook, Damon Wayans Jr.
She's still acting, is she?
Funny you should say that. Damon Wayans Jr. and Heather Graham is in there as well.
well,
and
she's still acting.
She's still acting too. Roller Girl is still
Wow.
rolling. Yeah,
Oh my
and she
gosh.
looks fantastic. But this is the thing. Okay, so I grew up in the 90s.
You did.
I did. And I grew up with Rachel Lee Cook. I
I still
remember.
haven't grew up. Go on.
You know you haven't. I grew up with Rachel Lee Cook.
Yes.
She's All That. It was a huge film. When I was
Yeah,
growing up. Like,
I remember that.
massive
Yeah.
film. It's the camera's blinking.
Hi,
Is that all right?
Blinker. Hi.
So I grew up with Rachel Lee Cook, and She's All That. She was in Antitrust. She was in the Josie and the Pussycats movie, so.
Less said.
I mean, I was young,
Yeah.
very young. I was like 10. So I don't know, baby. So whenever I heard that she was doing this movie, I was like, what?
A bit odd.
Rachel Lee Cook. She still has so much charm.
Oh really? Yeah.
She played the part incredibly well. Her chemistry with Damon Wayans Jr. is just so convincing. It's so believable, Jr.
Okay.
It was okay. So it wasn't the best rom com.
Yeah.
For a novice, you're not going to watch Love Guaranteed and be like, rom com's my new favorite genre.
Yeah.
Anybody
it has to
that
be
loves-
special for me to get a
Yeah, anybody that
genre.
loves rom-coms, I'd say watch a Julia Roberts movie instead. However, the premise was rather novel because this gives nothing away, but it's about this guy who goes, and I can totally relate to this. This is so like timely, right? So it's about a guy that goes on a dating site called Love Guaranteed.
Wow.
Hence the title, okay? And they say that you're guaranteed to find love within 1,000 dates.
Okay.
He goes on 1,000 dates, hasn't found love, so he decides that he's going to
1,000
sue.
dates.
He decides that he's going to sue them, and he keeps a like he literally keeps like
Like a binder of dates.
Yeah. So he gives like Rachel Lee Cook, who plays his lawyer.
Okay.
He comes to her. He says, "I want to sue this website because I haven't found love." She's like, "What the fuck?" At the start, she's like, "This is ridiculous. I'm not going to take on this case." And then she actually is like, "Well, actually, maybe you know
Makes
what?
sense,
They're
yeah.
guaranteeing love, and he hasn't found it. So what?" So she goes and interviews all his. Well, not all of them. She doesn't do 1,000 interviews, but she goes and interviews these people,
Very
and they're
long
all
movie.
like, "He was lovely and whatever, but it just didn't work out for whatever reason." So she's trying to find ways to make it not look about his character.
Okay.
And inevitably, what happens happens. Yeah, in the end, it was sweet.
It's kind of,
It
is
was
it kind of a
touching.
Made in Manhattan kind of thing, or one of those
No.
wedding planners
Yeah,
style
yeah,
movies
yeah.
kind of thing? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it had that feel to it, and I enjoyed it for what it was. It wouldn't be a film that I would praise for any of its technical skills. The
Yeah.
acting was decent. There's an actress in it, Candice McClure, who was in Battlestar Galactica, because you put me off there. She was in Battlestar Galactica, the new one, and she hasn't really been in much, but watching her in this film, she's stunning. I would really like to see the MCU like cast her as like Storm or something.
Oh, here.
Yeah, because she's very good, so watch out for her.
Okay.
But it was good.
It's watchable. You still haven't seen the Broken Heart Gallery yet?
No. No.
I like that one.
Yeah, I
That
know
was
you did.
something different for me.
Yeah.
So what was your third film?
I feel like I need to sleuth into this
Oh,
one.
go do it.
Yeah.
I'll try and...
Should I? No. So the third one, I know, because that's exactly what's going to happen. The third one that I watched was Enola Holmes.
Oh, so did we!
Did you watch it?
Yes!
Oh my god,
Is
George!
that on my list? Sorry. It is. It's on the wrong place. But yes, we watched
Brilliant.
Enola Holmes too. I loved it.
I am so glad.
Yes.
Because I loved it too.
Yay.
Oh my god!
Whoa!
Don't do that. Okay, so
I
talk to me
really
about
like-
Enola Holmes.
Okay, first off,
Yeah.
Millie,
Bobby Brown.
fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Also a producer of it.
Yeah, at 16.
Well done, Millie.
Go,
Bobby Brown.
Millie. You have your career locked down, girl.
I really, really enjoyed her.
Yeah.
I actually can't wait to see more of her. I hope they do more of it.
Well, there are 6 books.
Oh, okay.
This one only adapted the first book.
Oh,
so this is only
good.
adaptation of the first book. So there are
Good.
5 other books that could potentially come. It was number 2. It's the number 1 film on Netflix.
Yeah.
And it's number 2. It was number 2 on their chart there for until American
nice.
Killer came out. And they're already talking about Enola Holmes 2.
Oh, brilliant.
And I hope they do like a Harry Potter style franchise because Millie Bobby Brown was so effervescent.
Do you know who I kept
fun.
seeing in her?
Who?
Miranda Hart.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yeah, she does kind of have
When
that.
she would do that talk to the camera kind
Yeah.
of thing. It was so Miranda.
Yeah.
But she did it wonderfully.
A lot of people criticize. I did read a lot of reviews where people were criticizing the breaking the fourth wall. It was too much. I really liked it because you know what? It pulled me into
But it's nothing
Enola.
new, that's the
It's
thing.
nothing new, but it pulled me into Enola's story.
Yes,
when
it
she
let
was
you
talking
know
to
her
me,
more. Yeah,
I was drawn to her. I think that's probably Millie Bobby Brown's just
Yes.
her charisma
Yeah,
drew
totally.
me to her. But I was just like, how good is this girl? Like Stranger Things, one of the most incredible shows I've ever
She's
seen.
brilliant.
And now Enola Holmes, a
Yeah.
potential franchise starter. What on earth?
Yeah,
and
she's fantastic.
I have to say, Henry Cavill is probably the best Sherlock Holmes I've seen on screen
Oh,
ever.
stop it.
I swear.
Isn't it ironic that you've got Doctor Strange, Iron Man, and Superman all playing Sherlock Holmes?
I know, right?
No, do you know
The
what?
irony
What
is
I
just-
loved about him is that he took a step back with Sherlock,
Yeah.
whereas the rest recently have been so witty and fast talking and very, very much in your face. He's really just kind of subdued and
Yeah.
very much like, oh, I'll
Yeah.
let Nola have the fun.
Yes, I mean I think it's a great way to bring people into a new franchise. I think if it was Enola Holmes and there was no sign of Sherlock, people
It would
may
be
have been
odd.
a little bit like,
yeah.
But,
But
the
he
fact that
didn't
they-
overpower it.
No, not at all.
No.
She dominated that film, and she was up. I mean, she's working with some really huge names: Henry Cavill, Sam Claflin, Helena Bonham Carter. I mean, these huge Francis de la Tour's in it.
It's
You know, he's been
amazing,
acting
yeah.
for years and years and years and years.
Yeah.
She goes up against these.
She looked the oldest. Well, now she's 80 now or something.
Frances?
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
But
Bless. She looks great.
really looked like, because obviously they
Yeah.
aged her even more. But you know, she's,
But I think I did say in my review, I think that Enola Holmes could become a real icon for non-conformity, feminism,
In women,
individualism. You know, I think she's that strong of a character and played so well by
she's
MBD that
brilliant.
it's like, I mean, if this doesn't become like a Harry Potter style franchise, I will be really, really upset.
Well, don't
I'm
be.
coming for you, Netflix.
You can always read a book.
No. Millie, I need more Enola.
He needs more Millie.
I need more Millie Bobby Brown. She was. No, she was. She was fantastic. I have a little love for her.
Yeah, she is amazing.
And
she really is.
I think she's got a big career ahead of her.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I have a hat. Just makes my head itch.
Can we just talk about the production design of this film?
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
Wow. Stunningly gorgeous. Beautiful cinematography.
Beautiful.
Amazing costumes and wonderful period detail. I want to know how they did that.
Well,
I'd like to see it behind the scenes.
There's a part of England where they've just kept it like that for the last 200 years. It's stayed the
That's where they do the
exact
Jack
same.
the Ripper
Jack
thing?
the Ripper.
Isn't it?
I was joking, but yeah,
Oh.
possibly.
It's obviously on the sound stage. Obviously the countryside
It was,
things.
yeah. I know it was beautifully done.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. And there was as much details, like Peaky Blinders, for example, would blow me away with its set design. With
Yes,
it. You know, that
yeah.
really takes you back to
Yeah.
the point where you think, where is
Where
this
it-
place?
yeah.
Have they really filmed here 100 years ago? That did the same for me. It had this real authentic kind of look about. Yeah.
And I really
Loved
loved Jack Thorne's script. I think he captured the character very, very well. He adapted it. It didn't feel too long and it didn't feel too short. It felt like just the right amount of time for
Just
a film.
like this review.
And just like the review. And I think Harry Bradbeer did an amazing job directing it.
Good. Well done, Harry.
So, well done, Enola.
Yeah,
Go
but
check it out if you haven't already. I'm sure
It's
you have.
well worth a watch.
Yeah.
Definitely my favourite this
Woo!
week.
Is that all I've watched on TV?
I think so.
I
'cause
think it is.
I haven't watched much.
Oh, well, I will say this.
Go.
Very, very quickly on the small screen. I won't talk about them fully until I've seen the entire thing. But I have started to watch Ridley Scott's Raised by Wolves, which is on HBO Max.
Ooh.
And Lovecraft Country. Sorry. Lovecraft Country. Which is on Sky at the minute. My sister's been recording it and I was like, oh, I want to see this with Jonathan Majors and Shirley Smollett.
Okay.
Bell.
Amazing.
I can't wait to talk about it fully when the
Okay.
whole season's over. Same with Raised by Wolves. Two really good genre shows. Raised by Wolves is obviously science fiction. Lovecraft Country is fantasy with lots of big monsters and crazy
Happy
shit
days.
going on. It's mental, but it's so good.
Coming over to watch it. Woo! Yay, go big screen!
No, go small screen.
No, we're going to the big
What
screen
did,
now.
oh, and we can do this
We
now
can do this
because
now
we're not doing the
because
post.
we have dropped from the Screen Queens. We have now dropped What Did You Get in the Post because we're
Yeah.
only doing Nice Package. Bing. And we were kind of doubling up on what we were getting there.
Yeah.
So we just thought after last week's really dangerous stunt work from Marc, you know, it was so shocking that he had to show what he got in the post that it resulted in him wearing a helmet now for safety.
Which resulted in a major concussion.
A major concussion.
That lasted.
A broken table.
And a broken elbow.
And a broken elbow.
and broken pride. Actually, it wasn't. I found it hysterically funny.
It was amazing.
But yes.
So we've dropped that, and we're going to bring on something new at the end of the show.
Yeah.
But first of all, let's
what did
go
you see
to
on the big screen?
big screen.
Okay.
So
what did we see on the big screen?
Well,
There hasn't been much.
there has not been much. No.
Which is so disappointing.
The first thing, I know we went to see two things together.
Yes.
The first thing that I want to talk about though is that I went back to see The Matrix on the big screen.
Yes, you did.
That was like a last minute thing with my son.
Yeah.
But wow, so it's
I'm
been
not.
20 years since I've seen it. When it first came out, over 20 years, 21 years, my goodness, first came out and I was in New York, so I went to Times Square to see it and was blown away. Obviously, back then it was just something completely new. I remember sitting on my own at the back in this cinema under the Virgin Megastores in Times Square, just going, what am I watching?
Yeah.
And to go back and see that on the big screen again, even though I've watched it numerously, it was just as good. It was so much fun. It was really cool. The cinematography, there's some scenes in that are actually fucking stunning. But I think when you've watched it so much for 20 years, you're kind of like, yeah, it's The Matrix. But no, it held up so well.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Really, really, really enjoyed it. I hope they release the rest of them on the big screen just as a bring it back thing. But yeah, it was really nice to see it.
Yeah, like a lead up to Matrix 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think the same night or the next night, we went to see The 800. What?
Yeah.
That was feckin' amazing.
That movie was really sorry.
No, I was
I'm trying to think. I was trying to think of a way to articulate how surprised I was by it. I was
you
not.
weren't-
I was
you weren't
not
expecting that.
No, I wasn't.
No, it was so Cine Asia, who have released a whole dose of amazing Asian movies, have brought the 800 to the screens, to the big screen, and I never expected to have it released here.
No, whenever you said about it, I was a bit like, "What is this?" And I went and watched the trailer, and I was like, "They're releasing this."
I know, right?
Biggest film of 2020, by the way.
Massive.
Highest grossing movie of 2020.
It was
Over 500 million.
Incredible, absolutely incredible.
No excuse to that.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a big fan of a lot of Chinese war movies like
Yes.
Assembly, and I'm also of South Korea's 71 Into the Fire. And this is actually, for me, those two films, Assembly and 71 Into the Fire, the 800 was like a mashup of those. Now, it's based on the true story, but my God, absolutely beautiful.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Incredibly violent.
Yeah, it was actually. It was a lot more violent than I had expected it to be, considering it was only 15, and then we actually literally see body parts and people literally blowing open.
Yeah.
But it was more the production design and the recreation of the, that place, which I
The
forgot.
warehouse.
Yeah, the warehouse
The
that they used in Shanghai.
Oh my
and
gosh, wow.
the other side of how close those people on the other side of this river were to death.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so incredible.
But the colour, the difference...
Yes, that's what I was just about to say. The colour
the
palette.
river just split that. Wow. I mean, oh my God.
It was unbelievable, and the action scenes were mind-boggling. But the thing is, it was so boom, 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 boom. It was like relentless. It never stopped. It was ear-rattling. You know, it was just constant gunfire, explosions, and whatever. And there were some really lovely moments that I would have happily sat there another hour to get to know a lot of those characters, because there were some great moments. Remember, I asked you, there was a part in it. He's like, "Why does he want a picture with this guy again?" And you tried to explain to me, and I was like, I would have liked to see more about their relationship then, and why this photograph of him was so important, and the brothers' stories, and I love the symbolism of the white horse.
It was beautiful.
Running.
I mean,
through
this is the thing. A lot of people, especially the Western audience, who aren't into their Asian cinema, are going to complain about the propaganda of the Chinese, the whole patriotism. Oh my God! I mean,
how many American films are like?
Every American war movie is like that.
Here's the thing, though, right? With American films, they pick sides. You look at Gettysburg, Glory, all of those things are about the American Civil War. They pick a side.
Yeah.
With 800, this is about normal men who did not want to be there.
Not a chance.
We're basically like, "Come the fuck, you're doing this.
Get locked in this warehouse.
You're in this warehouse till you die."
That was the final standoff, basically. Yeah.
And to want to raise the flag of China on top of in your own country on your building to say "fuck you, Japan"
to the Japanese. Yeah.
I was like, I'm so down with this act of
that's
patriotism,
what I mean.
because it feels authentic.
Hang on, we're from Northern Ireland, where if
Yes.
you want to put a flag up, there ends up being a flipping riot and a battle and a fight. So something like that really has, there's no problem.
No.
Let's be honest.
It was actually, I find it quite humbling, actually, and it was nice to see.
Just a stunning movie. All over.
Beautiful
I think.
film. Who directed that film? How
Guan. Sorry, I'll put it up on the screen. There it is.
he directed it.
No, it's, if you get the chance to see it in the big screen, go and see it in the big screen. It is worth it, 100%.
Yeah, 2.5 hours is not an awful long time, guys.
Not with the amount that's going on here.
No, there's an awful lot going on.
Just
An
incredible.
awful
The
Beautiful.
whole set. I mean, there's nothing. Like Saving Private Ryan again. Something I remember seeing in America on its release blew me away with the set design, everything. The whole
brutality.
Oh my
of
God,
it
it was incredible. This
was
this
extreme.
took me back to that.
Yeah.
But I think cranked it up another wee bit, because I don't think I've seen as many people die the way we've seen them die in such a realistic way and shocking. I mean, the amount of times your arms went up because you were shot.
Me?
Yeah.
Did they? I wasn't even aware of that. See, my arms are possessed. People, I keep saying this.
But every time there was an explosion or a death, it was so unexpected.
You know why my hands go up with the explosions, because I'm a pyromaniac. But Yeah, there was so much like going on, and I think a couple of times it's like, whoa, you know, because things it blew me away more than I thought, and I have put up my review. So if you want to check out my review, you can go to Head Over Reels and read my review for it. I did mark it down. I would have loved to have given it 10, and it feels like a 10.
Oh, without
a
a
10
doubt.
movie.
Yeah.
I think just because I didn't know these characters well enough.
Yeah.
I felt like that brought it down for me because I wasn't able to get that emotional.
Do you know, I think perhaps if you were Chinese, you may have related to them a bit more, and you may have gotten something from how they were saying it a bit more. So you might have just gotten that. But again, you know.
And that ending.
Oh my God. Stunning.
I was a bit like, what? You can't just leave it there?
No.
What the fuck happened? But
not in a negative sense.
No, not in a negative way.
But it was just like.
But definitely, I can totally appreciate. China make good films.
Oh, without a doubt.
And people, I think, need to realise that it's not all kung fu movies.
And it's not all political, for goodness sake, wind your neck in.
It's not. And they do release good movies. It's not all kung fu either. And you get some amazing dramatic films coming out of China, and 800 proves.
Well, that's it. I mean, this, obviously my videos collection is here behind the camera. When I started that at 12, 13 years of age, so there's 30 years ago, and it's expanded into nearly 4,000 movies, but of every genre, in from Hong Kong and China and Korea and Thailand, and because it suddenly became more than just kung fu movies, I realised there's so many amazing movies coming out. And the 800 is one of the best I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, so we say go see it.
Go see it.
That's a see it, not a skip it.
Yeah!
So we went to see Rialto.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, what did you think about it? I think we were on the same wavelength, but I think I'm a bit... Okay, I'm going to start because...
You start, because I know what I'm thinking about it, and it's just... meh.
The one thing that I would say about it is that the acting was so authentic. It was like watching real people. I actually felt like these were real people which I was watching.
Like a documentary almost.
It did, but it actually had a documentary realism about it. You know, watching this guy act, watching them all act was like watching real people. But I think it's because we're from here.
Yeah, and that's what Rialto did kind of come across very natural. Yes, I got that. But I don't know.
It lacked something.
It lacked quite a bit. There was a few moments where you maybe thought it was going to go somewhere else, and it didn't. So that there was a couple of disappointing moments. There was a lot of moments where they just wasted fucking time with.
Well, okay.
You know,
I think there was a lot of exposition in there to heighten the emotion, and the lead characters, I guess, his torment. And his self-loathing and his confusion over his life. Maybe
the writer's torment.
I mean, there's some daddy issues going on
there's
for sure,
there's
but
something going on, definitely.
I liked that it didn't follow formula in any way.
Oh,
it was very like not Boys in the Band is like stereotype LGBT film.
Yeah.
Whereas Rialto was much more human. It felt more realistic.
Oh, totally.
It felt more authentic.
I mean, I don't know which of the two I prefer, to be honest, but
I actually preferred the Boys in the Band because it was more kind of like upbeat and it was sassy and there was a lot of shade being thrown.
This Rialto for me was something that would have made an incredible short film.
Yeah.
An incredible short film. I mean, an award-winning short film it could have been. And that ending.
Oh, the ending was far too ambiguous for me.
Yeah.
I was like, no, you can't just stop this here.
Yeah.
But again, whenever I went home and thought about it more, I was like, life has no guarantees. There was a lot of ambiguity throughout the film, and the reason that I wanted to see this so much and I asked George to go and see it with me is because it's an Irish film and I always want to support films that are made in Ireland. It's a British-Irish co-production. I think somebody over in UK sponsored it.
Oh, right, okay.
But it's an Irish movie.
So is this, again, another stage play?
No. Oh. Yes,
again,
Rialto was a stage play.
Yeah,
yes, it was.
Kind of give me that, again, that feeling that it was.
It was, based on a play, but there was a lot of those moments in life where I thought, you know, whenever you're kind of an observer, which is what we are when we watch movies, as much as we get invested in them, we are observers to what everything that's going on. And I felt like that was very much like what we were watching. So we were catching snippets like you would if you were a friend of someone's life.
Yeah.
And you were having to piece this together and understand, why is he so caught up in this? Why is he so obsessed with this young guy? Why is he not getting on with his wife? What was the relationship like with his father?
Stuff.
There was
a lot of unanswered stuff.
But in a way, I'm going to actually commend the writer for that, because for me, it's like it was very true to life as a spectator, as someone who observes,
as if you were part of his life as such.
Yeah, just like you know, like what do they call those people that peep through things? A voyeur. Yeah, like I was a voyeur into these people's lives and into their emotions. There was a lot of things that made me super uncomfortable in it.
Yeah, there was quite a bit.
Like the sex scene in particular,
and the fact of him. Without giving anything away, with him telling his son what he's up to. Yeah. That was just.
There was a lot of moments that I was like, oh god, and that's what I think made it for me, was that I, as much as I wasn't invested in the characters, none of them were particularly likable, because we didn't get to know enough about what their struggles were. There were still moments that I was like, oh my god, I don't think I can watch this, because it felt very.
It was very awkward.
Yeah, it was
very awkward.
But I think for an independent. Irish film, I thought it was really decent.
It wasn't terrible, but I don't need to see it ever again.
There's no lies between us.
So, what's coming up next, George?
What's coming up next? It's Triple Threat!
Ow! That really hurts! Okay, George, bring us in.
So, this section is now called Triple Threat instead of What Did You Get in the Post? As we explained, we've chucked that out and put it in with our nice package. And so this is now a little, basically, quick review of 3 movies you would recommend to our viewers that they should go see.
Oh my god, I've actually got to review them?
Well, no, I mean just...
Oh, okay, right,
Sell it to them.
Okay, sell it.
Sell it.
Okay, do you want to go first?
First one I'm going to throw out there. It's been out a wee while now, but Fearless Hyena has just been cleaned up and re-released by 88 Films with incredible artwork by Kung Fu Bob again. I can't get enough of these. 88 just need to keep going.
Forever.
Forever. There's just far too many that need that same treatment that they're giving to everything. But Fearless Hyena was Jackie Chan's, let's say, legit directorial debut. It is phenomenal. I love it. He had already made Drunken Master and Snake and the Eagle's Shadow with Yu Mu Ping for seasonal films, and when he went back to Low Way Pictures, he was given control of this because he was now a massive star. A lot of people kind of think this is better than the 2 that made him famous. I think it's a phenomenal film. There's some fight choreography and moves in this that are outstanding, and I probably would jump to this one quicker than I would Drunken Master and Snake and the Eagle's Shadow. Okay. More so, there's a lot of wacky comedy. There's a lot of wacky Jackie. He's very, very funny in it. He does a lot of there's quite a big fight scene in the middle where he dresses up as different characters. He dresses up as a cross-eyed, sort of Chaplin-esque kind of character. He dresses up in drag, which is hilarious.
The Drunken Fairy.
The comedy is so friggin' amazing in it. I love it. But it's the battles. The choreography is stunning, especially the end fight. It is well worth seeing. So Fearless Hyena, out from 88 Films. That is my first highly recommended film that you need to go and see now.
Okay. My turn?
Your turn.
Okay, so my first recommendation is, it's been out not for a while. Well, it's been out since 2019. But it's a film that I don't think got enough praise whenever it was first released. It's called Unplanned.
Okay.
It stars Ashley Bratcher, the amazing Ashley Bratcher, and Ruby Lamort. Ruby Lamort, people will know probably more than Ashley Bratcher. She played Jenny Calendar in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, was one of Prince's backing dancers. So she's well known. She hasn't acted in a long time. But she came back to this film Unplanned. So this is a story about a woman called Abby who played amazingly well by Ashley Bratcher, who goes and starts working at a Planned Parenthood, which for anybody in the US will know that it's an abortion clinic. So she starts working at this abortion clinic, and she herself has had 2 abortions.
Right.
And when she starts working there, she thinks that she's doing a service that's good and healthy and natural, and you know, it's helping women and whatever.
Okay.
She's then asked to assist in an abortion because they need her quite urgently, and she actually sees
What
the
happens?
screen, and it turns her whole life around. And it's one of the only, a lot of people are like, oh, it's too pro-life. The thing that I liked, I've seen a lot of abortion, well, not a lot of abortion movies. I haven't seen a lot of abortion movies. I haven't seen any abortions, but I've seen a couple of abortion movies that are very pro-choice. And I myself would consider myself pro-choice because I think there are a lot of factors
Of course there are.
that work into it. But this isn't a political show. This is a movie show. So going along to see this movie and it having a pro-life message, I was a bit like, meh. Whenever I have, it's been a very long time since the movie has touched me, like really in my heart, and that had a lot to do with this story and with Ashley Bratcher's acting.
Okay.
It's incredibly moving. It's very harrowing. It's difficult to watch at times, but it has a really good argument for pro-life, and it was nice to see a balance. You know, it didn't kind of shove the pro-life message down your throat. It did have that balance of, this is a woman that went through abortion. She knew the process. She worked in this place. She knew what these women were going through.
Yeah.
But something just clicked with her whenever she's seen the fetus of a certain age getting aborted, and what happens. She was like, this can't be right. There's got to be another way.
Okay.
It was really powerful.
Okay.
Really, really affected me really deeply.
Cool.
And I got a lovely signed copy from both Ashley Bratcher and Rebecca Lamort.
Very nice.
Yes.
Go
So
you.
just to plug that.
Wow.
But we're like, me and Ashley are like besties. That's not like, no, we're not really. I'd love to be. She's a really, really cool girl, and she engages with her fans very, very well. But this film is a very, very good film, and I would recommend going to see it. You can get it in the UK on DVD and CX for like £3. So check it out.
Well, my next one is something you would need to import unless you live stateside or Hong Kong or anything. It's not been released in the UK just yet. I'm hoping it does get a release, and it was really panned by the critics when it did get its initial release, and I kind of enjoy movies that get panned because I can see, as I said before, see the work in it, and I can see the entertainment value. This is one of Jet Li's latest movies, called League of Gods, which is a massive fantasy, CGI filled fantasy kung fu epic.
Okay.
That is kind of like, let's say, if you took Monster Hunt, Monkey King, and a few other kind of fantasy films there and just crammed them all together. It opens, let's say it opens extremely well.
Okay.
Where you've got a warrior riding the back of a giant panther that would remind you of Battlecat from He-Man.
Yeah.
Something like that. A stunning opening, actually. And then it kind of suddenly starts tumbling into this kind of family fun, you know, with cartoony style characters running around and talking vegetables and little kids, little kind of gods that are running around like children and then become actual people. And I really love it. I mean, don't love it. It's not one of my favourite movies, but I think it's been so missold and so sort of misunderstood because it was sent out as a Jet Li movie, and it's not. Jet Li has a very extended cameo as this wise old master that rides a giant crane, you know, and does a bit of magic. It's not a kung fu epic on his behalf.
Yeah.
There's Jackie Hung, who's the son of one of the Hung brothers, who's been in Hong Kong movies from the 70s. And it was an odd choice for me because he always has this kind of menacing look about him, kind of bad guy look about him, but he pulled it off quite well, and it wasn't disappointing. You have Louis Koo in it, Tony Leung in it, Fan Bingbing is in it, Andy Yeon is in it.
Oh, I love
There's a huge cast, and again, the only thing that really mars it is some of the CGI.
Okay.
Now, the problem that I've seen from it is because it was shot in 3D. You know, when you watch a movie in 2D and it was shot for 3D, that's where the problem comes in. So things look a bit off.
Yeah, I felt that with The Mermaid.
Oh yeah.
Off 'cause it was shot for 3D.
But that's why. And that's kind of where its downfall comes in. So yeah, there is a couple of wee rumbles along the way, but it is worth seeing. It's just a massive fantasy. Switch your brain off, enjoy it. But yes, I recommend that. Not wholeheartedly, but it is worth a watch.
Okay, League of Gods.
League of Gods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you stream it actually?
You
Probably can.
Possibly, yeah. Amazon. I
You'd
would
probably have to
imagine.
buy it,
Yeah.
but-
Oh yeah, you do have to buy it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's not free anywhere at the moment, but I just got it on Blu-ray and it is a fun watch.
Good. Okay, second recommendation for me is... Drum roll, please. That was the most beautiful drum roll I've ever heard in my life.
Sorry, it's cold.
Oh dear God, the excuses I get in this room, honestly. So, yeah. He wishes.
That's what he
So,
said.
right, my second recommendation is the French film Irreversible, directed by
yes.
Gaspar Noé. Yes, starring
good.
Monica Bellucci and Vincent
Ooh.
Cassel. This is a film that was released in 2000. It's been a very long time since this film's come out. Well, in comparison to some films. It's a film that I remember at the time, whenever it came out, I was too young to go and see it in cinema. And usually our local cinema banger.
Yeah.
I'm just going to call you out.
Yeah.
Would have let us in to see films even if we weren't 18.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
with this film,
It was,
I know the reason why.
Understandably, yeah.
But this film is so well made.
Mm-hmm.
It's from the French director Gaspar Noé, and it plays everything in reverse. It's not like Rewind where everyone's walking backwards, but its scenes are taken from the end, so the actual consequence of the action right back to where this day started. Phenomenally well done, but incredibly difficult to watch. It is one of the most absorbing films I've ever seen in my life in terms of the colour. The camera is so... I mean, it does this weird, like, thing where it just constantly is spiral, but it kind of... That dies down as the movie goes on because it's going back to the beginning.
Yeah.
So you kind of understand why this chaotic...
The intense stuff is at the start.
The intense
basically.
stuff
Yeah,
is
yeah,
at the
yeah.
start and in the middle, and you get why the camera is so wild, because it's like a spiral into revenge, and you're like, okay, why is Vincent Cassel seeking revenge? Why is he in this gay club? What's going on? It's incredibly difficult to watch. It's a very mature film, so if you can't stomach anything that's particularly violent or explicit,
You've got to be in the right frame of mind.
you've got to be in the right frame of mind for it. But I think if you're into film, especially if you're a film student or you are learning about film or you're doing film studies, it's a great place to start in terms of world cinema, innovation in terms of camera techniques, storytelling techniques, all of that kind of thing. It's a really, really interesting film. Very raw, very exposed in more ways than one. And very authentic. It has, again, a very documentary realism to it, even though it's kind of hyper... There's a lot of like hyper realized shots in it, but that's, I think, you know, whenever you get that adrenaline rush and everything becomes brighter and more intense. And Monica Bellucci, fantastic actress. She's not only incredibly convincing to the point where I was like, okay, did this really happen?
Okay.
But also her, whenever the film plays on and goes back to the beginning of her day, there is a scene on the train, especially, this is not giving anything away, but on their way to this party, and between the three main characters, and they're on their way and they're talking, and it's so... It doesn't feel scripted, it feels very improv. Now, it was scripted, it was a scripted piece, but it's the naturalism of the acting, the fact that they all look like they get on and they're friends, and it just, and how they move about, you know, it all feels very natural, which makes it even more compelling and more profound, and that much more uncomfortable whenever certain things happen. So that's my second movie recommendation.
Cool. All right. Well, my third and final of my triple threat is one I just got in, called Golden Job. Yes, it's not the porno we talked about last time. Golden Job is the third, believe it or not, even though he's been in the business 40 years, the third directorial effort of Chingar Lok, who is more widely known as his own, action star. He's also been Jackie Chan's stunt double when Jackie's been injured or can't pull off a stunt because it's too death-defying. they throw Chin in there.
Yeah, Chin's expendable.
Chin. Chingarlock is amazing.
My Chins were expendable.
And as is his brother Chin Soo-ho, who is phenomenal as well. But Chin has directed 3 films during his 40 years in the business. The first being Aces Go Places '97, which was dreadful. And the second is just left my mind. But this is definitely his best one.
Okay.
Without a doubt. Golden Job stars the Young and Dangerous cast. Ekin Cheng from Storm Riders, A Man Called Hero, and 1,000 other movies.
Storm Riders.
Michael Che, you've got Jerry Lamb in there, Jordan Chan, and Eric Chang from Infernal Affairs, and again 1,000 other movies that you would have seen. So Young and Dangerous was the 90s triad collection, kind of went up to part 5, 6, 7, and it went on. And Chingarlock joined them in part 5 actually. So to see them all back, Big Mike likes to call this middle-aged and dangerous, the golden job.
Oh, middle-aged.
Middle-aged and dangerous. But, listen, to be honest, I quite caught it on the plane to Hong Kong last year, which was fantastic. It had only just come out and I was excited. And on the little screen on the back of the seat, it looked phenomenal. So I was excited to get it again, and when I got it this week and put it on, I wasn't disappointed. It was a lot of fun. It's very much a throwback to the 90s Hong Kong cinema. It was great to see all these aging stars back together who, you know, had done so many movies together, and now they're back as mature characters. Very old school tale of brotherhood, and the action is a throwback to the 90s, but it's not so much the martial arts side of it, it's a lot of gunplay. So it's very much the heroic bloodshed kind of angle on it. The downsides for me were the
If anybody doesn't know what heroic bloodshed is, just check out The Killer and you'll know exactly
any
what that genre
movie. Yeah, pretty much.
It's heroic bloodshed.
But this was like really well done. I mean, as an action director, Chingarlock is phenomenal behind the scenes with that.
Did he choreograph?
He would have been.
Very good.
But it was the only downfall for me would have been the CGI car chases. There's a lot of very, very sporty numbers get out in the road and they all start getting chased after. And there's a few crashes and a few, you know, like we caught in the trailer of Vanguard.
Yeah.
Now, not as bad as Vanguard's CGI cars, but it had that effect. It's easy to get over because the rest of it is a lot of fun. The other downfall for me was bringing Billy Chow out of retirement. Now, Billy Chow is one of the best bad guys in Hong Kong cinema.
Okay.
And he has been out of it maybe for about 15 years now. And they brought him back. And he gets to throw a couple of kicks maybe against the amazing Yasuaki Kurata, who, again, you'll recognise from any amount of Hong Kong films. But suddenly it's over. The fight is over, and then it's gunfight, and then he's shot. Okay. And that, for me, was a disappointment. If you're going to bring somebody that amazing out of retirement, let them fight.
Yeah.
So, but apart from that, yes, I would definitely give this a 3.5 out of 5, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a nice throwback to the 90s Hong Kong cinema. So, see it.
So my third recommendation is a brand new film.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't talk about it in what I seen on the small screen
because
because I wanted to leave it to my movie recommendation.
Do it.
And it is Eva starring Jessica Chastain.
Oh,
yes,
the ever reliable Jessica. No, you just love her. I mean,
I do. Yeah. George knows me far too well. I talk about her a lot. She plays a female assassin. It has a lot of female assassin tropes and cliches thrown in there. A lot of people have been slamming it for being too cliched and too dry and just not taking advantage of its female assassin storyline. However, I really enjoyed it. I think Jessica Chastain is an incredibly capable action actress. I read a lot about her stunt work. She did pretty much primarily all of the stunts herself. She was trained up in combat, in gunplay, all of that stuff, and she did it all herself. It's only, as she said, the death-defying stuff that they were like, you can't do this for insurance purposes. I say check Eva out. A lot of people have been very negative about it, but it's enjoyable. It's 90 minutes
What's it on?
It's on VOD. It's the #1 film on VOD at the minute, so you can buy it on Amazon, or Mubi or whatever you're watching things on. But it's #1 on straight on VOD for purchases. It's really, really great. It's fun. Jessica Chastain is always reliable. John Malkovich, Colin Farrell are in there as well.
Okay.
It's a great cast of characters, not fleshed out an awful lot, but some great fight sequences, some great action moments. Don't go into this movie expecting a Mission Impossible. Go into this movie expecting a fun female assassin kick-ass action film, and you will be surprised. It gets a 3 from me out of 5. Which isn't terrible. I've given films much worse.
Good.
But it's fun, and I don't think that this film should disappear into the ether just because people are saying it's shit and it didn't get a cinema release.
Okay.
It's actually much better than people are giving it credit for, and I think that you should definitely check it out. So go and support Chastain. Keep her as the #1 actress in
Yay,
Hollywood,
Chastain.
and yeah, it was really fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
So that's us.
That's our triple threat. As such.
I think this is Signs and Vibrations.
Here's the sound and vibration.
That's so great.
Woo! Do not go in there.
Dirty bastard.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
Come on. I can't well prepare for this day. George, I can still smell. Oh my god, what the fuck have you been eating?